In the last video, we looked at the timeline for the 4 hours prior to first pitch. And a good part of that had to do with producing the lead-in. It can be one of the most challenging parts of the show. But it's also the part of the show that you want on your demo reel, because that's what employers want to see. And I know that if you and your crew can make it through the first inning cleanly, it will only get better from there. So let's take a look at the contents that make up the lead-in. This is a sample storyboard of the content that your team will use for the lead-in. The yellow means it's pre-recorded and the green's just all live. Now the first 5 minutes before first pitch is also the time that the national anthem is performed. The reason we don't cover that is due to the timing of it. The team can't guarantee exactly when it will be, so we cover it with a pre-recorded lead-in. If they're still not done with the anthem when your commercial is done, then you roll one more spot. So this is how the lead-in goes. Begins with a video open that's 19 seconds, then a pre-recorded stadium shot, which is a location shot more or less, with the open title graphics as the announcer welcomes us and then gives us the location, the teams, and the records. Then do a shot of the announcers on camera with the lower third graphic in the booth as they talk about the matchup in general. That leads into highlights of each team, usually from their most recent games. And you'll have access to all the bumpers and transitions you see here. This part could be 20 to 40 seconds or more. Up next, the division standings over an animated Northwoods League background, and that could take 15 to 30 seconds or more. Then the keys to the game over a pre-recorded shot inside the stadium, players or something like that. Players to watch is next. The player profile graphic works well over this animated background. And then you can mix in highlights that go with each player as well. Then the pitching matchup, and this could be over a pre-recorded shot from around the stadium. The animated background or even the field would work as well. Then back to the announcers on camera to wrap it up. And then another location shot with the open title graphics as the announcer sends it to break. Up next, starting lineups and first pitch. You're watching the Northwoods League Baseball Network. That would end the pre-produced part of the lead-in, and you'd roll a 30-second commercial. At this point, everything is live, and you should be about 1 minute away from the first pitch. The announcer welcomes us back to a high home shot of the stadium with the open title graphic. Then down to the visiting team dugout for their batting order graphics, and then back up to high home with a home team fielders graphic, and then you wait for first pitch. Pre-recording the lead-in is a very common way of producing pregame shows for live events. It allows for retakes and minor editing, and it just increases the chances of having a clean on-air look. The only problem is you'll be shooting it hours before the game in an empty stadium. So in order to maintain that illusion that it's happening live while your viewers are watching it, in a normal situation, when you play back this pre-recorded lead-in, you would mix in live location shots to use with the opening title graphics and other graphics. The problem we have is that the national anthem could be playing at the time that we need to take a live shot, and we don't want to be disrespectful. So the alternative is to use some kind of stock footage as your location shot. This could be a landmark type shot that's unique to your city, or an outside stadium shot with lots of activity around it, or even an aerial drone shot taken around the same time as the first pitch that doesn't reveal what's actually happening on the field. Every city is different, so hopefully you can find something unique to your town that you can easily edit into the show for your opening location title shot. So back to the content. If this looks too structured for you, don't worry. You and your announcer do have some limited control and can make some changes. And this is what those changes can be. As a general rule, the league likes any information about players. League news, like standings, is also important, but it could be minimized if the time is short. The keys to the game segment can be dropped altogether. The announcer could rearrange some things as well. For example, you could move the standings to before the highlights of previous games, or move the pitcher matchup to before the players to watch. And another thing that can be used if you want or need it would be a player or coach soundbite, which could be inserted wherever it fits. Now, if it were me, I'd find a format I liked and stick with it all season. Just makes life easier for everyone. So it's your content expert, the announcer, who initiates production of the show the day before or early on the morning of the game. If you have a 4-day homestand after calling the first game, he'll probably know exactly what highlights he wants to use before he leaves the stadium that day or night. The announcer can also review highlights on Dropbox and easily email links to the ones he likes to the director. He can send the names of his players to watch, and if he chooses to do the keys to the game segment, he sends those for each team as well. And all the other information that's needed is available on the website. We want to give your team as much flexibility as possible without giving up the basic content we want to see, and still maintaining the same look and feel as the other shows across the league. And it's up to the announcer to sort all this out either the night before the game or early that morning so the directors have time to prepare. Up next, we'll look at the actual rundown and prepare to shoot the lead in.